got that cherry bomb.
Welcome back to Breaking Beauty Podcast, everybody. We're Jill and Carlene here in the studio. And we are going to be doing a hashtag damn good episode today. Best of fall.
Yes, fall is always the most exciting time. And we're going to be highlighting some key trends for the season. The products that we're talking about today are really defining what we think is the direction for this fall in beauty, whether we're talking about skincare, we're going to be talking about color cosmetics.
Yeah.
Even some internal supplements that are popping off, all of the things.
Yeah. And I think this is where we really get to like flex our editor muscle. You know, obviously we were magazine editors before we turned beauty podcasters. Our podcast is in its 8th year. Many of you know that. But if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. And I think that this is really fun for us because we're able to, yes, review the products, but contextualize them, like Carlene said, in trends, in what's happening in the greater scope of the industry. And that is what we like to do as editors. We really can't help ourselves, you know?
Yeah. And there's change afoot, I would say.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to kind of do a reset, get inspired, and, you know, have your shopping carts at the ready.
I love it. And I think there's just so many trends that we've touched on, like in the last couple of episodes, expert-led brands. This is really what Sephora seems to be doubling down on these days. Like Chris McMillan, his hair care line, Vanngo coming out with his makeup line, Mary Phillips coming out with her makeup line. There's a bunch of others as well. And I think that that feels in and of itself like a new direction.
Yes.
And really fresh.
Yes, absolutely.
And kind of like a throwback in a way to some of the brands that were popping off when we were, I would say,
Junior.
baby beauty editors.
Yeah. Absolutely. That back in the Laura Mercier days.
Yes.
It was like a second coming, if you will. Other trends we're going to be talking about today are that matte skin is back. We're going to dive deep into that. We're also going to be talking about the GLP-1 effect, which is now rolling out into products.
Into
skincare. We're going to be talking about watercolor fall. This is a really fun trend that I'm definitely getting behind. And also toasty makeup, cozy makeup. That's what's popping off on TikTok. And we love it because it's really embracing neutrals, which is so wearable, but there's really fun little twists on this, on this trend. And the other thing, of course, we know that you love skincare. We're going to be talking about skin silking. Okay, this is a trend that Allure wrote about. We're going to explain it all coming up. And you have to stay tuned till the very end. We're going to be talking about babes on a budget.
Yeah, because, you know, we are in the era of the $160 Louis Vuitton lipstick, which if you want it, buy it. But we've got options if you are looking for something fun for your top shelf, but you don't want to like break the bank. And so there's tons of options, and we're gonna be reviewing those as well. We never leave out the budget babes because I'm one.
Yeah, exactly.
I am one of them.
And I'm bougie, but I still like designer for less. So we're going to be sharing with you. We've got some kind of like dupes and up dupes. So here we go.
So we're diving in. And of course, last week we had the incomparable Lisa Eldridge on our podcast. And if you didn't catch that, you absolutely need to go and listen to it or watch it on our YouTube channel because it was just a dream come true for both of us. And speaking of this like artist-led trend, she had these new brow pencils.
Yes, they're really, really good. And what she was saying, just to recap, is that these pencils that are new this September, she's like, look, this is not something where I've gone and innovated and done something completely new like she did with her 100% refillable lipsticks. It's the colors that matter. She was really filling in gaps that didn't exist. And this is where the makeup artist lens is so helpful. Guys, you can look at my eyebrows, the shade right here. And the ash is not too dark. That's the thing that's helpful. Some of the ash browns were bordering on black and it was a little bit too heavy. So this is that one shade lighter. And it's just a really natural finish and a beautiful pencil. So we had to come back and shout that out.
It's called the Brow Architect, everybody. And it's going to be, I believe, around $30.
And I'm going to show it to you here. It's double-ended. So this is the fine angled pencil on one side. And I will say it did not immediately break off like a lot of these retractable pencils do. And then the other side, you have the little spoolie that you can brush up. So I'm loving this pencil. I'm confident that I'm going to use this down to the end. That one is a win for me. Another update that we had to tell you about because I used it this very morning, Chris McMillan, how the feedback we've been getting on that episode.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys have not listened, we will link to it and you have to go back and listen.
Yeah. And by the way, if you're listening right now on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, Carlene and I are on YouTube with this episode live, and she was just holding up the Lisa Eldridge pencil to the camera. So everything we're going to be showing on this episode too. But Chris McMillan, I highly recommend watching that episode.
Yes.
Same with Lisa Eldridge, because I mean, with Chris, he is just a true gem of a human. He was perfect to podcast with. He has the anecdotes, he has the tips, he has the insider stories. He can't help himself. He's cunty little Bob personified. And we finally got to try his products, and the blow dry spray is the hero one. And he himself said in that episode that it's basically his version, his twist on Color Wow, the one that's in the silver bottle. He said it, and I believe you tried it this morning.
I did.
Yeah.
So it's called Chris McMillan, the Glassy Smooth Blow Dry Spray for Frizz. I don't have it here. It's but it's in a beautiful French blue, he said, bottle, and it has his name in silver kind of bubble font. It's a blow dry. It's $36.
Yes,
which I think is a really fair price. It's not available in Canada yet.
Yeah.
So that's the US price. But I used it this morning. I washed my hair. It's a blow dry spray that's meant to provide heat protection up to 450 degrees. It gives you frizz control and reflective shine, and it's meant to last longer. Now, I had forgotten my detangling spray at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciated that it did the detangling as well, which is not a claim that they put up front, but it really did detangle just as good as anything else.
He said that, though, on our episode.
Yeah.
He said it was a detangler.
It does detangle. And so you're looking at my hair right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, it is quite smooth, quite shiny.
And you didn't flat iron your hair or anything.
No.
Or you didn't even have the right brush.
I didn't. I was using one of those
that's very
detangling brushes.
Yeah.
So I did not use a flat brush. I didn't use a round brush. And I just feel like it feels so smooth. It looks so smooth. I'm feeling very Jennifer Aniston
adjacent. Yeah.
And so I honestly highly recommend this product. So that's the stuff we needed to catch everybody up on. Now we need to talk about what's new in this space, right?
That's right. Well, there's so many. And sneak peek, we just interviewed Vanngo, who is a fellow Canadian who is, of course, Selena Gomez's makeup artist. And it is a very exciting launch. It's all about color, everybody. Color's back.
Exactly. You're going to learn all about this in our episode with Hung.
In the next month or so.
Yeah. So we're not going to go so in depth right now, but I am holding in my hot little hand the Vanngo. It's called the Colorstory Eyeshadow Palette. It is $49.72 in Canada. And if you're not looking at it, I will tell you it's in a red matte case. And inside there are 8 eyeshadow pans in here. But what struck me is that he launched with 8 eyeshadow palettes.
Yeah.
So at a time when we are coming off of the clean girl makeup aesthetic, this feels new. This feels directional. But what I love is that
it's curated again by an artist, right?
It is curated. So you have 8 different palettes. Now, he has not 1, but 2 neutrals, which I appreciate. The neutrals are going like hotcakes, he tells us. But I'm a huge fan of this one called Wonderful Warm. So it's neutral, but it's all in warm tones, which I love for my skin tone. And I think it fits really well with the whole toasty makeup trend that we're seeing for fall. The toasty, cozy, everybody's into the warm caramels, the bronze, the copper, and these soft orange hues. He also has a palette called, I think it's called Wonderfully Orange or something like that.
Outstanding Orange.
Outstanding Orange, which I wore yesterday. So there's a lot of options. What's great about these palettes, though, and I think the feedback that he's getting as well, is that because he's doing them in these color story families, it's very easy for people like me. I will forever be a novice on eye makeup, guys.
Yeah.
It's just the way that it is. So I appreciate user friendliness. I appreciate the fact that all of these shades go together, and you can pick and choose without having it go wrong.
What's interesting, Carlene, is about the different textures. So there's 3D matte, there's metallic, there's a matte, and there's satin. So you have the color assortment, but you also have the option to play with the finish.
Yeah, exactly.
In each palette.
And I feel like 4 finishes is very unique versus 3.
Yes.
Again, check out our episode with Hung where he's going to dive more deeply into what is 3D matte, all of that. But I'm wearing it today. I've been using these palettes all week, and I think $49 US is a great price for a makeup artist brand palette with 8 shades. I'm just enjoying the payoff. I'm finding it's not falling out. So I'm kind of into palettes again, and it all feels very warm and toasty. Order me a latte, I'm in. And then another huge newsmaker is MPH by Mary Phillips. This is the Underpainting palette. So this one is $64 for this palette, US. I don't believe it's available in Canada yet. But I think what's interesting about this palette is that it's more of a soft look. So it looks like something that is only for professionals. I think you see 5 colors in the palette. They all look kind of similar. Various shades of neutral, and you think, oh, this is for a heavy makeup user. It's going to give you like very cut contours. I think when you hear about the palette, Underpainting palette, you think about like an influencer type of a trend. But what I enjoy about this palette is it is, I think what you were saying, more on the back of like this clean beauty aesthetic.
Yeah.
Is what famously Mary Phillips would do on Hailey Bieber, because she's Hailey Bieber's makeup artist. That would help give a very natural definition as opposed to the super snatched, sharp lines. This is much more of like a diffused approach.
Right.
And the whole idea with underpainting is that you're putting it under your foundation, and therefore the foundation is covering it up to a degree where it doesn't look sharp. You're not seeing these like definitive lines.
Right.
So this is definitely something that does require a learning curve, though. I watched the video right on Mary Phillips' site to figure out how to do it. Otherwise, I would have no idea. And I think a lot of people might compare this palette to the Makeup Forever one.
It certainly looks inspired by that.
That we've talked about quite a few times.
The full face palette.
But that face palette includes, from Makeup Forever, includes highlighters and blush as well. Whereas this one, you have 1 color corrector, 2 highlighters, and 2 contours, and none of it is shimmery. It's really just all cream formulas. So I had fun when I watched the video, finally learning how to contour my face properly, like doing the flower on the forehead that you've probably seen, where it's like these kind of pale lines that
between the brows,
that kind of flower out.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm learning from this palette. I probably will use it for certain occasions, but I will say you do need to be careful of the foundation you use, because it can just obliterate what you're putting on. So I've been using it with the Chanel O
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like it's meant almost like for skin, like a skin tint or very light coverage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the Chanel
or if you have perfect skin, you just rock this out. Right?
Well, this is the thing that I found confusing. It was even having watched the video, she didn't explain once you do this underpainting and your face looks like, we've all seen it on TikTok, where the face is just like, it looks like you're painting by numbers. And then it's kind of skips to what it looks like after the foundation. And it's never explained whether you're meant to blend it or not before you put the foundation on. I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to blend it, because otherwise you wouldn't see it at all under the foundation. Right. But that was still a little bit confusing. And the other thing that she says in the press kit is that she likes to apply this kit both before and after the foundation. Right. And I think that's kind of the save, where it's like, if you don't see it, you can just go back and add more. Now, it comes in 3 shades. There's a light, a medium, and a dark. I think that for me, I'm obviously using the lightest one. I do find the one on the end, which she kind of explains, even though technically it's a contour, I find it's like a little bit too warm for my skin tone, a little bit orangey. So I do think more shades would be beneficial. That's one criticism I have.
Yeah.
The other one is that this contouring brush that I was sent to use with it, it's called the Underpainting Dual-Ended Sculpting Brush. I did find it was a little bit sharp. Like, when I was applying the makeup, it was, like, a little bit pokey, the
Oh,
bristles. So
okay. You might have to work them in a bit, maybe. Yeah.
that would be my other little criticism on this.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the Victoria Beckham by Augustinus Botter, the foundation drops. And it is $110 US, 156 Canadian dollars. And there are 19 shades. And I will say my first impression, I was very impressed because the face of the campaign is a woman who has very melanated skin.
Oh, yeah. On the Fitzpatrick scale.
Like a 6,
Yeah.
I would say, or deep. And so I was like, yes, I love that representation. And Victoria herself says that we created the foundation drops for minimalists like me. The formula melts into my skin for a naturally flawless complexion and nourishes with Augustinus Botter's TFC8 technology as I wear it. And this is the first foundation that feels like nothing, yet truly does everything. And so we've known in the past that she's partnered with Augustinus Botter on her skincare, which I think was really smart. And you and I both have talked about. Like, I love the priming moisturizer.
Yeah, very good.
And which is, I like the one that's not tinted. You like the golden one.
I do.
And I have finished it a bunch of times.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, if you like something like the Gucci Westman foundation drops or the Lisa Eldridge seamless skin tint, I'd say you're going to love this product. It comes in a square bottle, like
beautiful.
That is stunning packaging.
Black lacquer,
and it has a nozzle, so you're not using too much product, and it is a very liquidy texture if you want to give it a go.
Do.
And so to me, this feels more like skincare versus the other products I just mentioned, which feel more like makeup.
I agree with you.
And this
like
is,
if I had my eyes closed,
yes,
and I just put it on, I would think I'm putting on a moisturizer.
Absolutely. It's got olive leaf extract in there, echinacea extract, and a flower extract that I cannot pronounce. It's meant to visibly firm and smooth skin. So you're getting cell rejuvenation. You're getting all of these things. It's like, feels like a treatment while you're wearing it.
Well, I think if you're a fan of Augustinus Bader,
yes,
or a fan of Augustinus Bader by Victoria Beckham, then that's, something that you're going to be interested in. I mean, you're either an Augustinus Bader fan or you're not, is kind of how I look at that.
It's one of those things when I put it on the back of my hand and then I use my brush and I put it on. And by the way, I used a flat brush because you don't want to use a brush that's going to absorb because it's quite liquidy. So I use like a flat foundation brush, one I have from Armani. She has one as well, but it's like that thing, first swipe, you're like, oh yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is, you're like, this is now one with my skin. I've only just started trying it, everyone. I can't comment on like how long it's going to last on my face all day.
Right.
But I wouldn't necessarily use this for an on-camera day. But for every day, yes, I will be finishing this.
Okay. Well, I will. I mean, I hate to do it because I know it's expensive, but I do need to shout out the new Victoria Beckham Blush Water Tints.
She just does it right.
Because I'm using that today. This is
gorgeous.
What they look like, you guys. They literally are like water inside. And
they're stunning.
They're $46 US each, 65 each in Canada. But they are beautiful. And I do think there's something like a watercolor moment happening for fall, where it's kind of that painterly idea, but in a watercolor way. It's very kind of Benetint, I would say, adjacent, but more modern. I think it's like a little bit more jelly texture. It has a little bit more, again, skincare ingredients. It is a water-based formula. They use mineralized seawater, coconut fruit water, and then some other fruit extract. I think the color payoff is somewhat similar to Benetint, maybe not quite as potent. Yeah, it feels more modern because of these ingredients, right? So But it's the most beautiful flush on skin. I'm obsessed with it. It comes in 3 shades. There's a coral, there's a vintage rose, and what's called a flushed, which looks like it's already sold out. And you can apply it with your fingers or a brush. I am loving this.
What can we say? In Victoria, we trust. And I need to have her back on the microphone because when we first talked to her, she still had only done makeup and she hadn't done the whole skincare thing. And I just think she probably has even more to say now. She's done fragrance now.
Absolutely.
And her taste level is something you cannot teach. So you talked about a cheek stain with the Victoria Beckham. And of course, blush is going nowhere. There's butter bomb this, butter bomb that. But I was really excited to hear that, this soft matte thing is happening, right?
Matte is back. That's for certain.
Yeah. And so I have a product that I think was a little unexpected, but it actually makes a lot of sense. And Glossier is coming out with what they're calling their Plush blush. It is the Cloud Plush blush. It's seamless cheek color, and these are $26 US. They just launched. We don't have the Canadian price yet, but I imagine it's around like $32. And this is sort of their update on the Cloud Paint, which came out in 2017.
Wow. Yeah.
Right?
10 years ago.
Like, I feel like Glossier came up the same time our podcast did.
Right.
It really did.
Yeah.
And they always say, if you can finger paint, you can use cloud paint. And so this is a really interesting bouncy matte texture where it's in a pan. And if you put your finger into it, it's like your fingerprint is left.
Oh, yeah.
It's very fun to play with, almost like a clay texture, but it's not dry like clay. I'll give you the other one currently to play with that I didn't stick my finger in yet.
Wow.
Pigment is beautiful, very blendable, very fun colors. And
how many colors?
10. So they kept the 4 originals. Like you remember Puff and like Beam.
This is called Burst.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a trend as well. Red blush.
Absolutely.
Which you can get with the watercolors, but also like I swatched this on my hand and it's
like pillowy soft.
Yes.
Texture.
Yeah.
So it feels like a bit when you put your finger into it, you're like, ooh, clay, Play-Doh kind of vibes. Is it going to be dry? It's not. They said demi-matte finish. Yeah. Demi-matte sunset inspired blush.
Beautiful. I love it. I think for the price point, it's so great.
They're back. Like, I think they needed a win.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And Cloud Paint has a nostalgic feel for a lot of people. But this packaging is way better. The Cloud Paint little top, remember twisting that off and it like rolled under your couch and you never saw it again? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So this is very fun and I highly recommend. I think it's going to be a hit for them.
Well, I like this twist on because all summer it was matte cheek colors.
Yes.
Like, did you get there was the Tower 28. There was
Rare Beauty in the spring.
Yeah, Rare Beauty. There was more. Anyway, I feel like a lot of, and powders in general, a lot of like finishing powders and setting powder, like Say launched their powder.
Yeah. Which technically I liked, but is not setting because it has mica in it. It's a really pretty powder, guys, but it's not a setting powder.
Yeah. I feel like it was just all about powders. Like everyone went to Italy and just rediscovered powders. Picking up on what you said, it's not as flat as it was in the past. And in fact, Charlotte Tilbury, she relaunched her Airbrush Flawless Foundation. That was her original foundation, I do believe.
Yeah.
Which was quite kind of like flat and matte. This one's definitely creamier. I will admit I'm not a huge fan. Maybe I'm not the right demo. I found like my texture was just really coming out too much. But she also launched the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray in matte. So we all know that her setting spray is world renowned. She launched a matte version of it, which I also tried and honestly didn't really notice a difference. But what I'm saying is matte is back. What I have tried and I do love in this new kind of soft matte category and you're going to kill me on the price, but you know what? We're going to just remember at the end of this episode, we are doing a Budget Babes kind of rundown of the top things you need to buy on a budget. So there you go. Don't kill me. Real quick, this is the Sicily Phyto Tint Primer Matte. It's $120 in the US, so it's like $150 Canadian. I know that's an outrageous price. Here it is, everybody.
Okay, well, the other one that I like from them is $250, so that's half the price.
Okay, well, oh my God, the girl math that's mathing. When I used this product earlier this week in place of a setting spray, I found my makeup went on beautifully afterwards. I was really impressed because I had put it on in the morning. I had used it under the underpainting kit.
Yeah.
Then I had used my Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh tint on top. So super sheer, all of that. I loved the result. It was so much better than the day before when I had applied without it. And it went strong. Like when I looked in the mirror at the end of the day at 6:00 before you and I went out for dinner, I was like, it looks like when I put it on that morning. It looked so good. So it actually performed. And even though it says that it's mattifying, it wasn't like a harsh matte look. I think what it really was blurring. And I don't use that word lightly because I know blurring gets thrown around and a lot of it is like junk talk. But this is something where I did one face and then the other side, and definitely my pores were blurred. And I have tried a lot of primers at this point, and I could definitely tell the difference. To me, this is worth it. My makeup went on better, stayed on better. My skin looked way better.
Let us not forget Carlene's other favorite primer for $9, which is the Maybelline Grippy Primer.
Absolutely.
Which you raved about.
I do
and I
like
think
it.
From our Amazon episode, it was like the #1 best-selling product from that episode that we did in the summer. So it's like you're giving range.
Yeah, I am. I'm giving it all. And they're not the same. I would say that one gives more of a glass skin finish.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Whereas this one is giving you a little bit more of, again, that soft matte kind of diffused.
Great.
What I actually will try is doing this in my T-zone and doing the Maybelline one on the perimeter of my face, making like I'm Patty Jubroff over here. All right, well, we've got to dive into skincare, of course, for fall. Jill, you had teased that there's a product that launched that is responding to the whole GLP-1 effect. This feels very of the moment. Tell the people what we need to know.
I was kind of shook in my inbox. So it's from a brand that is so tried and true as well. It is SkinCeuticals.
Yeah.
So the product is called SkinCeuticals AGE. It's an acronym for age, obviously. Interrupter Ultra Serum. Now, sticker shock, $185 US, $205 Canadian dollars. And this is like not taking the place of your antioxidant serum. It's a firming serum. And so for the first time ever, they actually tested this serum on people who said that they were GLP-1 users and they had quote unquote Ozempic face. They had sagging and laxity in their skin from losing weight quickly.
Yeah.
And so I just think that is absolutely fascinating. And I think this is going to start a whole new category of skincare.
Yeah.
And we've talked to many plastic surgeons on the show about Ozempic face, quote unquote. And yeah, you want to get rid of it forever? You're going to go meet with Dr. Catherine Chang. But there's some people who are like, I can't afford that. So a $200 serum, let me do this. So the whole idea is that it's tightening around the jowl area, the mid to lower face, but you put it all over twice a day. I thought that it was really a very comfortable to wear serum. Now, I can't speak to the sagging necessarily, but they did do clinical studies that it did visible lifting of the skin for up to 18%, and that people noticed a 20% reduction in skin laxity in a 12-week study with GLP-1 patients. And there are before and afters on the website and everything if you want to check it out. This whole line, the age line within SkinCeuticals, it's addressing glycation, which we've talked about for a decade now as beauty editors, which is like sugar breaking down and it's causing all the laxity. So it's addressing the glycation, halting the glycation, so your skin is more lifted.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Now, it is in a dropper, everybody. And this is the worst thing about it, is that it's just a serum, but it's a more creamy serum. And it's really difficult, in my opinion, to dose it properly versus the SkinCeutical CE Ferulic serum, which is very liquidy. And that's easier to dose. So I think they need to change the packaging if they're going to be charging this kind of price.
Yeah. Now, have you tried it?
Yes, I have tried it, but I can't say, like I said, I can't say that my jowls I don't have a double chin anymore.
Right.
But I didn't have rapid weight loss to say, why I'm talking about this product though, is just in the context of like what I think is going to be driving skincare forward, driving skincare trends. And that this is not a random brand that's decided to seize on a hyper cool ingredient and make an entire line around it. No, this is like one of the most clinically tested brands out there. And this is the direction they're going. I find that very interesting.
Well, Skeptical Sally over here has a different take. I mean, sagging skin is nothing new, whether or not you've lost a ton of weight or you haven't. Sagging skin is not new. So I think this is just about repositioning something in a way that feels current. I think SkinCeuticals might be trying to become more consumer facing than they were, because they are sort of like they have been a professional brand traditionally, but now they're available more to consumers. And I feel like there's some L'Oreal speak that's trying to take over. And I say that because the last SkinCeuticals product that I reviewed was the PTOX.
Yeah.
And I wasn't very impressed with their languaging for that product. So now I'm kind of getting skeptical, because what they had said is that PTOX is a wrinkle modulating peptide serum. And literally on their website, it says PTOX is a peptide powered serum inspired by the effects of anti-wrinkle neurotoxin injections, proven to reduce the appearance of 9 types, whatever. This non-invasive, obviously, it's topical, wrinkle modulating serum features, an advanced peptide complex, yada, yada. Essentially, what they're saying, PTOX is physician tested to complement neurotoxin injections and is effective. It's just like, what they're trying to say in a roundabout way is that this is Botox in a bottle.
They're saying it's complementing if you are getting those. They don't say don't get injections.
Right. But anything can complement. I do enjoy this product.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is they are starting to tiptoe into some marketing speak that I think is a little bit, I would like to see them like tread carefully.
It is still primarily sold in plastic surgeon and dermatologist office. It's not available at Sephora. It's not at Shoppers Drug Mart. It's not at Ulta. So when people are in there looking or talking to these professionals about it, it honestly makes sense that they're having these conversations with their clients or their customers. And like it or not, laxity isn't new, but laxity in a 30-year-old is. Right?
Yes, it is. But does that change the way that you go about treating the issue with the types of ingredients? Same thing. This one, it's a complex peptide, it's the PTOX.
Right.
Like, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's up for debate, but I think at the end of the day, if there's a segment of the population out there that wants to be spoken to, the reality is so many people are experiencing these drugs and at various ages. And, I'm not surprised that they're being marketed to.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, guys, it's time for you to weigh in. You can jump into our comments on our Instagram at Breaking Beauty Podcast and let us know what you think. I have a feeling people are going to have opinions on this.
That's right. Speaking of gimmicks, tell me about Martha Stewart's skincare line, which I know that you got in your hot little hands, Carlene.
Oh my gosh.
Have we jumped the shark yet with celebrity brands?
Abso-freaking-lutely. I mean, listen, nobody was rolling their eyes more than I was when I saw that Martha Stewart was launching a skincare line. I have known about this for a while, and I've teased that there will be a boomer who launches a skincare line soon. And lo and behold, here it is. It's called Elm Biosciences. Now, this particular serum that I'm holding is $135 US. And you lift it up and you can see it's not just this little amount of product, guys. It actually goes all the way up. The elemental serum. I was ready to write this off, I will say. However, I need to let you know who the co-founder is, okay? The co-founder is a board-certified dermatologist by the name of Dr. Deval Bansuali. And this is the same dermatologist that, according to the press release, he has helped create breakout brands like Rhode Beauty,
okay,
which we know was acquired for $1 billion.
Yeah.
And another brand professional brand called Skin Medicinals, the largest pharmatech platform in dermatology, known for pioneering the integration of molecular dermatology with real-world product application. There's a lot of credentials behind this dermatologist, and it seems like he is actually a little bit more the person behind this brand.
Right.
And Martha is investing in the brand and obviously being the face of it.
She says it's her dermatologist.
Yes, apparently it is. She says she's been using the products for 5 years, which is how long it's taken for the R&D behind this brand.
Mm-hmm.
They also claim that it's being backed by more than 350 dermatologist advisors. I don't even know how that's physically possible.
Yeah.
That's what they claim. So more on the serum. They say that it's a first of its kind patent pending antioxidant serum powered by some jibbly-jobbly complex, which is a triple pathway anti-senescent molecule engineered to target visible signs.
Senescence. We keep hearing that.
Senescent, that's right. It's to target visible signs of aging, including UV damage, pigmentation, dehydration, while remaining gentle enough for sensitive skin. I love this because I have sensitive skin. I've tried it. Like Jill said, I've tried it for about a week. It's not really long enough to tell you that this has changed my life or lifted my skin. I can tell you some of the key ingredients: hyaluronic acid, blue tansy, which I do like to calm redness and irritation, squalane, and vitamin E. It also has bakuchiol, which we know is a gentler alternative to retinol. So I appreciate that. When I use this product, I would say it has, even though it's a serum, it has kind of a milky gel texture to it, which I do like. It kind of goes along with this skin silking trend that has been part of the headlines for fall as well. They also launched supplements, inner dose supplements, it's called. And those actually kind of got me because they're intended to target internal inflammation. Speaking my language as someone who's in perimenopause, again, I was ready to write it off. But I was like, you know what? This is actually, I actually would use this.
Right.
So that's what we know about the Martha Stewart line, everyone. Let it be noted that in the past 5 years, she's also had a facelift.
I think,
allegedly.
You talked earlier about the skin silkening and then water kind of water girl fall. We made that up. But I quickly want to shout out a new moisturizer from In Beauty Project. You guys know that I've talked about In Beauty Project multiple times with their extreme cream, which is the one that's in the pink bottle. They just launched this gel cream, which my oily skin is loving so far. I would say this is the one you would use in like summer into fall, and then extreme cream is something you could use in the wintertime. This is a $48 price point, which I think will suit the budget babes, and it's $68.50 in Canada. Soothing, plumping. It's got peptides. It's meant to smooth skin. If you have any rough skin texture, like bumpy pores, that kind of thing, it's meant to tackle that. And it's this water burst gel cream, which you definitely feel upon application. And what I like about it, Carlene, and what stood out to me about it and why I'm talking about it is that it's a gel cream that's not just hyaluronic acid, which I think we see a lot. This was, I think, a step beyond that and a sort of 2.0 of this recharging the gel cream water burst idea. So there you have it.
Exactly. Very silky, very skin silking. Okay, we're going to finish off with our budget finds. I want everybody to know about the Ordinary Sulfur 10% powder to cream concentrate. This is $9.90 in the US, $13.40 in Canada. And this will go toe-to-toe with the Mario Badescu drying lotion. It's half the price. And we know that Mario Badescu product is like every teenager I know has that little pink bottle for their acne. This is likewise it's a little white bottle, very, very tiny. But this one is, unlike the Mario Badescu, there's no fluid in it. It's a anhydrous formula. It's actually just a powder. You put it directly on your skin. And when you start to smush it in, it kind of blends with your skin's natural oils and it turns into an invisible cream I guess, or
powder
paste.
to cream. Powder to cream is what they say.
Yeah. Okay. So it is like it's like a cream. It feels kind of pasty.
By the way, this looks like you're doing something quite illicit.
That's true. That's true. So you put this directly. So I actually, believe it or not, did have a couple of acne spots because I tested a very heavy product and it gave me a couple of spots. I do think sulfur is the best for this, and sulfur is in the Mario Badescu, but that product also has salicylic acid, whereas this one is just 10% sulfur. It has that little bit of stink to it, but that's fine because you're only using it as a spot treatment.
Yeah.
You're probably only going to use it at night, so it's fine. I would say the biggest difference, aside from the price, is that this product is meant to be less drying.
Well, yeah. The other one is literally called the drying lotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's less drying. It has like clays in it and humectants. It has niacinamide, glycerin. So it's really going to be more kind of, it's that idea of balancing treating acne while supporting barrier health, which is huge for this fall. Like First Aid Beauty came out with a whole acne line. Bioma came out with a whole acne line. All of them are all about this new wave of treating acne while not destroying your skin barrier.
Right.
This is just a little guy that really worked for me. It's so inexpensive. I'm a big fan of it.
Amazing. And great price point.
Great price point.
And by the way, everybody, there's an Ordinary documentary coming out. It just came out during TIFF. We haven't seen it yet, but we definitely want to because it's all about one of our former guests, the late, wonderful, great Brandon Truax, who changed the entire industry. So we're going to finish off on the most budget find we have for the whole day, and it is a $4.99 mascara. And this is from Essence. It's called Lash Without Limits, and it's a tubing mascara, much better than their previous tubing mascara, which was called Bye Bye Panda Eyes or something. But this is much better. And $4.99. Plus, you can easily wash it off. I've been wearing this whole trip, and it has not smudged on me at all. I do think you need a couple of coats to get that like fullness, because sometimes that is the downside with tubing mascaras. You don't get the oomph that you want. But I thought this one was great.
Yeah, it's for the woman who wants it all.
Yeah.
And it really does do that. I actually did, by the way, it's $5.99 in Canada. Okay. So it's only $1 more. Yeah. Like it's still so cheap. It's crazy. I think I paid more for my coffee this morning.
Yes.
But you might think, oh, I already used the Essence Lash Without Limits. This is the original. Right. This is the new. This one is tubing. This one is not. They both do. This one, they say, with the tubing has extreme lengthening and volume. Actually, they both do the same thing. It's just one is tubing, one is not. I don't really know why you would use the non-tubing, because this one, I literally did a half face. Yeah. I did one on one eye and one on the other, and I really think it was the exact same results. But this one, when I wash it off, it's just like a regular tubing mascara. You just pull it off. Why you would ever not use a drugstore mascara at this point is beyond me, because they just win. They just win. All right.
Well, everybody, every single thing that we talked about, we are listing and linking to over on our website, which is Breaking Beauty Podcast today. And of course, you can find us on YouTube. And we've linked everything in the YouTube description of everything that we talk about. And we always appreciate if you do shop through our links, let them know that we sent you. That's an easy way to do it. You click through and you can buy through our links, which we do get a small commission for. So we appreciate that. And as always, let us know your feedback on this episode. Slide into our DMs, subscribe to our Substack, and we will see you next week with Bobbi Brown. Bye.
Ciao.